Are you guys tired of getting outmaneuvered by your opponents? Yes, I heard you. In this video, let us enter the world of chess opposition where the line between victory and defeat is thin. Join me as we unravel the mysteries of opposition and uncover the hidden patterns that will give you the edge you need to succeed. I am Ishan and you are watching Ishriya's House. So, what is opposition? Opposition is the state of two kings standing on the same file. So, if you see in this example, there are two kings standing on the same D file. There are two types of opposition: close opposition and distant opposition. What is close opposition? Close opposition is basically the state of two kings standing on the same file with one square separating them. So if you see in this example, there are two kings standing on the same file and there's only one square separating them, which is the d6 square. So what is distant opposition? Distant opposition is the state of two kings standing on the same file with 3 or 5 squares separating them. So in this example, we see two kings on the same D file and there is 3 squares in between them. So this is known as distant opposition. Opposition can be either vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. To fall into opposition means conversely to fall into zugzwang oneself. So if this position is white to play, this is actually a draw. There is no win. Because if white plays king c5, then the black will play king c7, taking opposition, and this would be actually a draw because the white king cannot arrive to one of the key squares. If white plays king e5, then black will play king e7, again taking opposition, and white king is unable to arrive to one of the key squares. So this would be a draw. There's no win here. In this exact same position, and now it is black to move. And actually that's a huge difference. Now it's actually a win for white because after black king moves somewhere, for example c7, then the white king is able to arrive to one of the key squares, which is e6, and then with the help of the key squares, he should be winning the game very easily. If the black king moves to e7, then the white king moves to c6, and again with the help of the key squares, he should be easily winning the game. Now let us solve this exercise. This is black to play, and what would you play here? You guys can pause the clock and try to find the answer. Here there are I think two options, which is king c7 and king a7. Both are very logical moves. But I think after king a7 you will lose after a5. B takes a5, king takes a5, king b7, king b5, king c7 and king c5, and now black is in the zugzwang because wherever the black moves, white will be able to arrive to one of the key squares. So I think king a7 is the blunder. I think king c7 is the best move. White plays king a6. Here, the most natural move is to play king c6. White plays king a7. And now, I think you can simply just play king c7. Just try defending the pawn. Here, you can play king c8, trying to just take horizontal opposition. And this is just a draw. Let us solve this exercise. So, if you see here, there are two kings and white has 2 pawns and black has only 1 pawn. This is white to play and win. So you guys can pause the clock and try to find the first best move. The first move is just enough to win the game. So king b6, b5 and d5 are the most logical moves. If white plays king b6, then black king will move to d6, then king b7, king d7. Black will simply just take horizontal opposition and white won't be able to make any progress. If white plays b5, then c takes b5, king takes b5, and the king d6, and black should be easily drawing this game. So here the best moves to play d5 because after c takes d5, king takes d5, king c7, king c5, king b7, king b5, and now black is in a zugzwang because when black king moves somewhere, for example a7, then white king will be able to arrive to one of the key squares, and in this case would be c6 if black plays king a7. So here the winning move is to play d5 and you will win the game. Now let us look at this example. You guys can pause the clock and try to find the answer. And this is white to play and win the game. So how do you win this? There are some logical moves like c5, a4 and king a6. But king a6 is the winning move because after the black king moves to c6, now you are going to play a5. Now you are asking a question where the black king will move. So the black king moves to c7 now. Now the white king can move to a7 taking horizontal opposition. Now the king moves to c6 and now that's actually a critical move and you have to find this move. It's actually king b8. What's the idea? You're not letting the black king to move to c7 and just shuffle back and forth. That's your idea. So white plays king b8 and after king c5, now you'll play king b7. Now let us look at this example. This one is actually a tricky one because you have to decide whether you have to take close opposition or distant opposition. So this is white to play and most probably you have to draw the game because you're a pawn down. So here I think the most logical moves are king f1 and king h1 because you want to take opposition. King f1 is a move where you want to take close opposition, but if you are playing king h1 that means you want to take distant opposition. So you guys can pause the video and try to find the best move. Is it king f1 or king h1? The answer is king h1. And why? It's because if black plays king f1 trying to take close opposition, black king will move to d2, white king will move to f2, again taking close opposition. But now the black king will move to d3 and now the problem is the white king needs the f3 square, but there's a pawn already occupying that square. So actually this is totally losing and white king is in deep trouble and white will most probably lose the game if black plays accurately. So king f1 is not the move. It's actually king h1 because you have to take now distant opposition. If the king moves to d2, now you can play king h2, again taking distant opposition. And now when the king moves to d3, now you still have the h3 square, so you can still take the distant opposition and black will be unable to make any progress. In endgames, opposition can help stronger sides to create pass pawns, promote pawns, and convert advantages into wins. It can also help weaker sides to draw their games. I hope this video is informative. Do consider to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel as it makes me highly motivated to make more videos. I'll see you in my next video. Let's learn and grow together. Bye bye.